In my last video, I showed you how to use Suno AI to create your own motivational, uplifting music. And every day in the morning when I do my 5-minute routine, which actually goes on to like 10 minutes, sometimes even 15, I play this daily motivational track list. And the reason why I'm particular about the music that I listen to, like my track list, right, is because if I do not consciously pick what I'm listening to, and all the tracks that are on my track list are motivational, inspirational, and they have affirmations in them or affirmations in them. This helps me to control the thoughts that I think, because there are these moments of vacantness in the mind, right? So in those vacant moments, imagine that I'm listening to something that reprograms in my purpose. We want to program your mind before other people do that, because it's our mind. Why should we let other people have a control over what we think, what we want to think, what we want to do? We should decide that for ourselves first. That's where these tracks that I've created, like even this one. So why am I bringing this up? Because in Suno AI, every day there is 50 credits that's given to you on a daily basis. 50 credits is actually good for 5 song generations. Each song generation takes 10 credits. For every 10 credits, 2 versions is generated. So if a song that I generate is not quite to my expectations, what I do is I use the same prompt, maybe I refine it and I press regenerate again. Sometimes I get a really nice track on my first attempt, but there are also times when it takes my second, third, or even fourth, and then I get something that I really like. The point I'm trying to make here is that every day we are blessed with opportunity. Every day our slate is made clean. We are imbued with a new energy for today. We are blessed with another 24 hours. We are even stronger from yesterday's experiences and training and challenges. Today is a new energy. How are we making use of today's energy? Are we fully utilizing the 50 credits that we get every day in a metaphorical sense? Or should I say more specifically, are we making use of the 86,400 seconds that every day gives us? Or are we taking life as it comes by, like being very passive to it? Why do advertisers spend so much in-app advertising or advertisements that appear in your social media feeds? Why do people spend so much money to print these giant posters and banners to put on these huge billboards everywhere? And why are more billboards spraying up all the time? There's always dissatisfaction. People who are living their life like a hamster wheel, and they just want to be able to get something new, something different. Let me give you an idea of how distraction advertising works. The other day, I was walking around with my daughter in a nearby mall, and my daughter said, "Are you going over to Aicha next?" At that point of time, I have not decided what drink I was going to get that day. And I was like, well, as a matter of fact, yes. So that suggestion, when in my mind, I was thinking, okay, there was the Ice Americano from Burger King. There was a blended milk with brown sugar syrup, and there was Aicha. So I was like, okay, I'll go with that. So there are these moments in life where we have an opportunity to choose, but without a solid idea of what outcome we want, or if the outcome is not so important, then any suggestions would slot into that vacancy. Then our outcome for that particular thing is being decided. In the past, it was TV advertising, but now social media advertising had taken over, because, when we are just idly walking, and you know how people are these days, when they walk with they're just looking at their phones. They're just oblivious to the traffic that's passing. They're oblivious to the people that's walking around. And they're just, looking at something on their phone. And the other day in the neighborhood, I even saw this kid. He was riding a bicycle, one hand holding on the handlebar and the other hand on the other handlebar. And literally sliding social media while he was cycling. I think people today are a lot more jinxed than they were back before we had all these smartphones. Because back then, we would be able to more constructively, think about what day we want to lead. Or let's say if we're in those idle moments. I remember before I had smartphones, if I had to go on a long walk, I would either be paying attention to the surroundings, or I might be daydreaming as I'm walking. And it's in those daydreaming moments that we are actually creating fresh ideas. But in this day and age, because smartphones have hijacked our vacant mind and constantly, putting a box and a framework around where this mind will go, and it's being contained into various repetitive activities. What's ironic is that while we used to have these free time is like while walking, driving, or let's say we're just sitting around and enjoying the scenery on the edge of a mountain cafe, or we're sitting in our balcony just looking out and enjoying the breeze. So in the past, when people would work like a hamster wheel as an employee, they still have these moments to enjoy the wonders of the imaginative mind. But now everything's got a box around it. Coming back to what I was saying about this song playlist, these AI generated songs, like, once again, if you want to watch how to do that, you can check out my previous video. But in the beginning of the day, even though I'm given these 50 credits to generate songs every day, there are some days when I don't generate music. Why? Because I don't find any available time to do it. But ultimately, we decide whether we have available time to do something or not. I could have just as easily woken up earlier and made use of this opportunity before the day's events start to hijack my time, maybe task or things that need more attention. Like for those of you who work, you will know from the time that you are at work, your time is not really your time. Your time is the company's time because they pay you for it. But up till then, the time on the commute, that's your time. The time that you're having your breakfast, or if you don't have breakfast, you're intermittent fasting like me, you have this block of time in the morning that you have time to create. The time before you touch your devices and start, passive scrolling. How many of you actually write a journal? How many of you actually spend time to think of what you want today to be like? I mentioned this in a previous video as well. Our mind is so powerful because, subconsciously, without us even thinking about it, our parasympathetic nervous system is controlling our heartbeat. Our breath is maintaining our bodily function. We also know how powerful our subconscious mind is because when we write down things in a task list, inevitably we get them done because we impressed it upon the mind. As we are writing something in our task list, our mind is getting an imagination of this activity. Inevitably, within a day or 2 days, you will get it done. So the more you write down, the more you get done. The more you impress your mind, the more things happen. This morning when my daughter was doing her leftover math homework, which is in Thai, because there's English math and there's also Thai math. And she was sharing how she even figured out how to write certain expressions in shorthand. This is a major breakthrough because until recently, she even had trouble in reading in Thai. But now not only can she read, she can also write in Thai shorthand as well. This is due to repetitive exposure. My comment to her was, this shows that old-fashioned education techniques of writing a script times and times over again does still have a very relevant effect. And that's how I was schooled in Mandarin back in the day, through repetitive writing. In Chinese, they call it 习字, which is the exercise of script. So how about we can use the exercise of script into our lives? Doing journaling, self-reflection, doing daily task lists. Before we start every day or before we sleep, how about we exercise the power to script and create our destiny by spending some time to impress upon the mind? We use the conscious mind. Our conscious mind is like the boss. Our subconscious mind is like the employees. Get this done. Somehow or another, these are your tasks. Figure it out. I'll come back and review the results. Somehow, some way, it gets done. It may not be in a particular way, but somehow the subconscious mind figures out a way of getting it done. When you make these goals, when you make these task lists, I like to use this term at the end of it, or better. All right, let's get this done, or better. And this opens the mind to exploring better possibilities for that task which you wish to do. If you are committed to making the full use of today, drop a comment down beneath here. And for another great video, watch this one over here.